Firstly, to the respectful Jewish dictators. Before I start my speech, I would like to introduce myself to all of you. My name is Vipo. I am a candidate from Savannah branch, and my teachers are Mr. Jim Konak and Mr. Matthew Reed Wilkinson. This morning, I am very pleased of being a candidate of the final round of the Best Public Speaker contest that was prepared by the Academic Office of ASEAN International School. Now, I would like to introduce all of you about the topic of my speech this morning. The topic is terrorism. So, everyone, do you know what is terrorism? Okay, terrorism, it means that the use of the violent action against the innocent people on the purposes of political, religious, or ideological goals. Example, like the terrorist attack on the 11th of September in the United States, 2 aircraft flight into the Twin Tower of the World Trade Center and the Pentagon and killed too many Americans. So, this is such a violent action against innocent Americans, and this is called terrorism. In my speech, I have divided it into 4 parts. The first part I will talk about the practicing of terrorism. The second part I will talk about the strategy of terrorist attack. The third part I will talk about the way to stop terrorism. And the last one is conclusion. So, first of all, I would like to talk about the practicing of terrorism. Terrorism has been practiced by a broad of political organizations to further their objectives. It has been practiced by both government and opposition political parties, the nationalistic group, the religious group, or even the ruling government. The characteristic of terrorism is the use of the violence against the innocent people on the purposes of gaining publicity for a group or individual. For example, on the 11th of September 2001 attack in the United States by Osama bin Laden's order, 2 aircraft were flight into the Twin Tower of the World Trade Center and the Pentagon, which resulted in the death of 2,973 people and 19 hijackers. In the response to the attack, the United States launched the war on terrorism to depose a regime called the Taliban in Afghanistan and fought Al-Qaeda group operatives. 5 days later after the attack in the 11th of September, Osama bin Laden denied all the responsibility on the attack. But instead of claiming responsibilities, he accused the U.S. President George W. Bush, of caring less on the attack on the 11th of September. As the reason for his denying, in 2004, the United States found the evidence to show that Osama bin Laden is the one who caused the attack on the 11th of September. The evidence is the video of his discussion with his partner to attack both buildings. Since that time, Osama bin Laden has become the one of the most wanted terrorists in the world. So now, let's move to the second part of my speech about the strategy of terrorist attacks. There are many strategies of terrorist attacks, but this morning, I would like to rest on only one strategy which has been most successful. That strategy is the suicide bombing. Some terrorists decide to commit suicide on the purpose of their group because of some shady and crazy ideas were activated in their mind. Example, you die for the good thing, then you will be born after 7 days. So, is it possible that that person can be born after 7 days? Definitely it is not. This idea made the terrorists decide to hide a bomb in their body and then commit suicide by exploding themselves in the crowd of people. So now, this is the end of my description about the strategy of terrorist attack. So now, let's move to the third part of my speech about the way to stop terrorism. But before I talk about the way to stop terrorism, I would like to invite Jewish dictators and ladies and gentlemen in here to consider one question with me. The question is, how does a beautiful newborn child transform into a terrorist? There are many complex answers for this question, but in the final analysis, it was caused by the extremely painful lead to extremely anger and toward this anger to foreigner people like you, like me, you, and everyone beside the terrorists. Terrorism is to end this painful and suffer, which make it possible for the terrorists. So now, let's move directly to the point of the third part about the way to stop terrorism. In my opinion, I think that it is quite difficult and dangerous to stop it. But one of the first things that we have to do is to understand the method and find the strategy of the terrorist attacks. How do they attack? In what way have they been more successful? So, if we can find out this information, it will be easier for us to set up the plans to stop them before they have any more innocent people. For example, at the airport, how do we set up the plans? The security guard should completely control all the area and notice something strange. There should be a machine at the airport called the metal detector to check the bag of the passenger and notice something strange. Some sort of security system should be placed in some area, not only airport, especially the area which contain mostly with crowd of people. So, this is the end of my idea about the topic, terrorism. In conclusion, terrorism is the use of the violence against the innocent people. In my opinion, I think that terrorism is the worst action ever. Why? Because it kills many people and destroys many valuable things. This is the reason why many rich countries all around the world try hard to find and stop all the terrorists. And not only them, you, me, also have to try to stop it. Because we are all human, we have to be responsibility on this. The world will still be unpeaceful with terrorism. So, from today now on, we have to hold each other's hand and try to stop terrorism together. Thank you.